So here is an overview of Maneja School Results Management System. So when you log in as system admin, the first thing that you need to do is to do school settings. So you click on school settings and then you set the midterm weight. That is the percentage of midterm at your school. If midterm is 2080, you click on that one. If it is 2575, you set on that one. But if midterm has no bearing on the end of term, then you set it at 0%. Okay. If you want to set it with the numbers that are not here, you click on this one and set it. Okay, so once you set the midterm there, you set the term and the A. Currently, these are correct. Then for primary, they have to choose whether they want to use the ECZ standards or just the normal standard. ECZ standard requires special paper 1 and paper 2 from grade 4 to grade 7. The normal standard will just calculate the best 6 subjects. So you can choose which one applies. Then you select, this side you select the subjects that are being offered at your school. So you select the subjects that are being offered at your school. And then after that, you save the subjects. You also save the settings that you have made. Actually, start by saving the settings first, then select the subjects and save them also. After you are done with that, then you come to your sidebar menu and come to classes. So here you create your classes. Now for my school, the classes are already created. So, but you can create by clicking on this button here, add class, and then you select the grade. The grades are already there. Then the class name. The class names, they should have a number and a letter. So even if it is Form 1, indicate it as maybe Form 1A, Form 1R, depending on how you name classes at your school. If there's no such letters when you have just one stream, still name it as maybe 1A. That will make it easier to promote classes when you move to the next grade at the end of the year. So you do that. And then you can also use A1, like you start with the letter and the number. That is also acceptable. So once you have selected the grade, the class name, and the A, then you click on create class. As simple as that. If you need to edit your class, there are these icons which are here. The first one is for editing the class. The next one is for assigning subjects to the class. The next one is for viewing pupils or adding pupils to the class. The last one is for deleting the class. So when you have just created your classes, you need to assign subjects to them. So you click on this one, manage subjects, the one which has a book icon. So when you click on it, it seems like it is not showing anything. The selection part needs to be done from down. So you have to scroll down after you click for you to find where you have to select the subjects. Then you select the subjects for that particular class and you click on save subjects. So you do that for all the classes. After you have created the classes and assigned the subjects to each class, that is when now you can go to teachers. So on teachers, again, you register the teachers. You register as teachers. You can start with the head teacher. When you click on the register form, put the roles. One of the roles is there's administration there. So for the head teacher, deputy head teacher, senior teacher, and maybe HODs, you can make them school administrators so that they would have oversight over what the teachers are doing. And then if you need another system admin to assist you, you can click on register one of the teachers as a system admin. And if you are a private school, a boarding school, and you'd want to use the system for fees, you can create an account for an officer who would be an accountant. Okay, so that is how you register the teachers. You fill in the form and then you click on register. Then the teacher will be registered. Now, once you have registered all the teachers in your school, then now you can assign them specific classes. You can assign them specific classes. So that you can do by clicking here, assign roles just next to register teacher, or on the sidebar menu, assign rows. These two will still, they do the same thing. So let's click here. And then on assigning rows, you need to be careful. For the first form here, assign class teacher. This is for assigning class teachers for classes. Now, it works both for primary and for secondary. For primary schools, when someone is assigned as a class teacher primary CT here, it means they are the teacher for that class. All the subjects will be assigned to them, and then they'll also be the ones that will be managing the class. Then for secondary, if one is assigned as secondary class teacher, then this one, it means the class teacher, they are the ones who are doing the register, okay, managing that class. They may not have a subject to teach, or they may have a subject to teach in the class. But for teaching subjects, for secondary, we assign from here. So you assign subject teacher, so you select a teacher, and then you select a class, and then the subjects that you assigned to each class are going to load here. And then you will assign the teacher their correct subject. So you do that process for all the teachers. You assign them their subjects and all their classes. And once you are done with that, then down here, when you go down, you'll see each class, 11A, the teachers in that class, their roles, and the subjects that they have been assigned. So basically, that is how you assign the roles. After you have assigned the roles, now you can come to register pupil. Notice that we started with school settings, then we came to creating classes and assigning subjects, then registering teachers, and then assigning them roles. Then we now come to register pupils. So for register pupils, we have two options. You can manually type the names, the details for each pupil, surname, first name, gender, date of birth is optional. But it would be nice if we can have the dates of birth as well. Then you select a class. For exam number, for senior classes, it would be nice. The best that we encourage is for you to use their ECZ numbers, the one they come with from grade 7 here. But if you don't have them readily available and you want to try out the system, you can leave it blank. The system will auto-generate an exam number and assign which pupil as you register them. But the phone number for the guardian is needed. But again, if you don't have the phone numbers and you want to try the system, you can put just one number or even a dummy number, 0977123456. Then you leave it like that. It's just for you to try out. But if you have to test functionalities such as sending of SMSs, the numbers for guardians would be needed. So then you click on register pupil. That's the first option. So you can register them using this form. The other option is for you to use CSV upload. So you can register the pupils in Excel, then save that Excel as a CSV file, and then you can come here and upload. Alternatively, you can click on CSV upload, and then you download the template. Okay, you download the template that you can use and save where you would easily find it. When you open that template, let's open it. It will show you when this message comes to convert, don't convert, so that it remains CSV. Then you notice the first column is surname. Then you have, okay, let me try to do this. Make these bold and maybe make them bigger. So the first column is surname, first name, gender, exam number, parent phone number, and date of birth. So this is the format in which your data should be. This exact format. Once you have your data in this format, then you can easily upload. Remember, here, if you don't have the numbers, you can leave it blank. The system will assign the numbers. And also, the date of birth is optional, so you can leave it blank if you don't have them ready. and still want to try out the system. But this data which is here now, which has remained, is needed. The name, the gender. Look at how the gender is, not just FM, but the names in full, female or male, and then the phone number for the parent. Once you have your data in this format, then you can save it, maybe with each class name, and then you come here, you select a class that you have already created, and then you choose the file from where you have saved it, and then click on import pupils from CSV. It will show you how many pupils have been successfully imported, and if there are any that have been skipped, the system will indicate to you. So that's how you can register or upload pupils. Then you can view the pupil list from here. When you click on pupil list, you'll be able to, you can see them, you can see all the grades, you can select a particular grade, a particular class, and yeah, you'll be able to view them that way. The CSV upload is the same one that we were using under register pupil, this one. Then the promote pupils will be used at the end of the year. Instead of registering the pupils again who are already registered, at the end of the year, what we are going to do is to just archive. We'll start with the bottom form here, where those who graduate, the final class will be archived. So you select a grade 12 class at the end of the year, and then you can preview the graduates and then archive them. They will not be deleted, they'll be saved on the system, their results will still be accessible, but they'll be moved out of the grade 12 classroom to leave room for the grade 11s to be moved into. So after removing the grade 12, then you come to the grade 11s, and then you will select the grade you want them to go into, and then you preview and then go on with the process. So the grade 11s will be moved to grade 12, the grade 10s will be moved to grade 11, and then since there are no more grade 9s, for senior, that will be the end. And then for the form 1s, 2, so the form 2s will be moved to form 3. So you have to create form 3 class and form 4 class at the end of the year, so that just form 3, so that you can move the form 2 to form 3 and the form 1 to form 2, and then you leave room to register next year's form 1s. So that's it about promotion. Then once you have done, okay, this one was just a by the way. After registering pupils, then you can come to marks entry. For marks entry, this is a part that each teacher will enter their own marks. But as system admin, you can enter in any class if you need to assist. But each teacher, when they log in, they will be able to enter their own marks. I've remembered something that I forgot on teacher login. Talking about teachers logging in, let's go back to teacher and then look at the teacher registration form. So when you are registering a teacher, there's this part here where you have to create a username for the teacher. For example, let's try somebody. Let's say this is Garinda Jorwe. And then we say the role is a subject teacher, and then we select the gender male. Here, we are supposed to put a username. The username can even be maybe just the surname Jorweke. Okay, and then the other bit. So this is Jorweke that we have put as a username. We need to give that teacher the username to say for your username is this one. Actually, you can make it standard that for all the teachers it is their surname and their initial, or their first name and the initial of the surname, or the first and name and surname combined, whichever way you choose it. But you give them their username. That's the one they use to log in. At the same point where your system admin logs in from, that's where they also log in from. The only difference is the system will differentiate to know who is a teacher, who is system admin, who is an administrator. So you give them this. When they go to log in for the first time, they use the default password 123456. 123456. That's the default password. So once they enter that, then the system will force them, it will prompt them to change their password. So they'll create their own password and then they'll be automatically logged in. That's what they'll be using to log in. I had left this one out. I thought I should mention it. Okay, so let's continue on marks entry. So for marks entry, when a teacher logs in, they'll be able to see only the classes and subjects that they are assigned to. They will not see other subjects. So the system has been made to make work for a teacher easier. With the way it is now, there's no need for a teacher to calculate percentages. If you give a test, an end of term exam out of 40 or out of 60, you can literally enter the raw marks out of 60 on the system, and the system will calculate the percentages for you automatically. So no need for a teacher to sit with a calculator or their phone calculating percentages. You can simply mark and then enter the raw marks as they are. But the only key is that when you come to do marks entry, you must indicate on midterm, you indicate your midterm was out of what. If it was out of 30, for example, out of 35, you indicate 35. Then when you come to start entering marks, you'll be entering marks for what your pupils got out of 35. If your end of term, for example, was out of 60, you enter the 60 here. And then when you start entering the marks, the system, it will not calculate immediately, but you enter the raw marks which your learners got out of 60. And then when you save the marks, the system will automatically calculate the percentages for each, and it will show a final mark and a grade there. So that is how you do marks entry. For now, you'd have to say a pupil got 31, and then you can use tab to move to end if you are entering both mid and end at the same time. And then the next mark, you enter it and you use the tab. But if if you are entering just mid, you can just be using the mouse to be clicking on the next. On the phone, it's a lot easier. Just press the tab button and it will keep going to the next. On the computer, you have to keep on clicking on the next pupil where you want to enter the marks. Then if a pupil is absent, in midterm, for example, there's this small box where you have to click to show that they were absent. And then the input for the midterm will be disabled. Okay. The same even for end. If the pupil was absent, you click on this box, you enable it, then the input for end will also be disabled. So basically, that is how you do marks entry. When you are done, you can save. Now the system is made in such a way that you can just enter marks for one pupil, two pupils if you are busy, and save, and those marks will be saved. When you come back again, you want to continue, you can continue entering marks from the next point going onwards. All right. Let's move on. So from marks entry, for this one mainly is for teachers and also system admin because I know they are teachers, but this would be more useful for the teachers. Then you can view the marks that you have entered. And then there's also an option for bulk marks upload. So I don't encourage this one, but it is there. What I would encourage that you use it for is to click on bulk marks upload and then select a class whose marks you want to enter. Actually, way before, maybe just after you finish marking or even before marking, so that you can have a list. Maybe your subject is biology, you click like that. After you have selected the class and the subject, then you click on download the pre-filled XLSX template. This one is going to have a list of the pupils in this class. And so you will enter the marks against a list which will already be arranged the way the pupils are arranged on the system, so that when you come to entering the marks on the system, it will be easy. The order of the pupils will still be the same, the way they are in this previewed template. So if we click it to download it and then we save it, we can save it maybe as 10A so that we don't mix it up. 10A biology. Okay, 10A biology, and then we click on save. And once it's saved, we open it. You will find that it already has the list of the learners in the class already in the same order that they are on the system. So you can just enter your marks, your mid-term, your end of term, indicate those who are absent here. And then either you can upload these marks or you can enter them manually. As long as you do not change the format of the way things are here, and then you also do not change this from a CSV file. You maintain it as a CSV. You don't turn it into an Excel file. Then you'll be okay. After you have entered your marks here, you can save, and then for now, let me say don't save. And then you can come and choose the file from where you have saved it and click on import marks. Okay, so that's for bulk mark upload. Once you have done that, then you can view the class reports and generate report cards. So the class report gives you a quick results analysis for the class to show how many pupils are in the class, how many passed, what was the pass rate. So far this class doesn't have only one subject has been entered, and so that's how you notice that it's showing 0 passed and 0 pass rate. But when all the subjects would have been entered, that will change here. Unfortunately, there's no class which has all the subjects entered. I would have shown you. But if we want to generate the report cards for the class, you click here. Once you click on the PDF reports, this is how the reports will be generated. So you can save in PDF or print directly if you have a printer, if you intend to print the report cards. Let's go back to reports. And if you want to download this class report, when all the subjects are there, you can click on download PDF there. Then you'll be able to download that report as well. Then the other thing is on this same class report, at the bottom, there's a summary of how the marks entry is taking place. So as system admin, you can use it to monitor how teachers are entering marks. This same thing is there on administrators, so that the head, the deputy, the HODs, the senior teacher can monitor how marks entry is taking place. So for the selected class, which is 10A, when you scroll down, there's a summary of marks entry, so it will show which subjects have been entered. Notice that here it is showing biology has been entered 100%, English has been entered 100%, and even the pass rates are there. But all these other subjects that are in red, the marks have not yet been entered. So as an administrator, you can easily follow up on those that have not yet entered when the deadlines are almost due. Okay. Apart from that, so we're looking at marks entry. We are done. We are now on class reports. Then you can also monitor, check how marks entry is happening teacher by teacher, not using the class, by clicking on this one, marks entry report. So it will show a summary for all the teachers. Each teacher, how many subjects they are assigned to, how many they have completed entering, how many pupils they have entered for. So you notice the first two have not entered any of their 5 subjects. The third one has entered 1 subject out of 3. The next ones have not entered anything. This teacher has entered 5 out of 5. They have entered all their subjects. So you can monitor how teachers are entering the marks from here. The next part is results analysis. enrollment. Let me leave out these. You can check them out. Then if you want to send SMSs, you have to contact us to buy SMSs. They are at 20 ngwe per SMS at the moment. And then you'd use this part to send the results. So when you click send SMS, this is the form which opens. It's just a simple form that requires you just to select a class. Select the grade 10. When you click on send results SMS, the system will compile the results for each pupil for that selected class and send to the parents. Using the phone numbers that you entered during pupil registration, that's why the phone numbers are needed and they are mandatory. Okay, so basically that's how you send the results. Very simple. Just select a class, click send. After it has sent, you select another class, you click send, just like that until all the classes are done, and it doesn't take long. Then if, for example, there's a pupil who did not receive, maybe there was no phone number or their phone number was wrong, they give a correct one, you can send a single pupil SMS from here. Just search for the pupil, and then once you find the pupil, you can send the result. Then the last part here for custom SMS is for a school to communicate to parents. Maybe you're inviting them for an AGM, you can click on send custom SMS, and then you can select which parents you want the message to go to. By default, it's on all parents. So if you want to send it to all the parents, you leave it here. If you want to send to parents for a particular class, you can click there and go on specific class, and this becomes active. Then you can select the class whose parents you want to send a message to. Then you can type your message here. Dear parents, you're invited for an AGM meeting on 24th October 2026, something like that. Then you click on send custom message. So this SMS will be sent to all the parents for the selected classes. Okay, that is it about SMS. Then there's SMS logs here. If you click on it, it will show you the SMSs that have been sent and the status, whether they have been sent or they have failed, and even the actual SMS itself that was sent. So that's the purpose of that one. Right, let's go down to, so below SMSs or on SMS logs, then there's also message stuff. If you want to send a message to teachers within the school, just the teachers, you can click on that one to message staff, and then you can click on select all if you are sending to all of them. If you are sending to specific teachers, maybe class teachers, you can click on class teachers and only the class teachers will be selected. And then you can send a message. If you are sending only to subject teachers, you can send specifically to those. Okay, and then after selecting the group you want to send to, then you can compose the message. Maybe you're inviting them for a staff meeting, you can use the system to send such messages. I think basically these are the main issues that I would have wanted you to take note of. But if you have a challenge, just call the number 0976 571470 and we'll be able to assist. Thank you so much.